Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for an event update video. So what we're going to be talking about in today's video is we're going to be talking about the blog post that came out regarding what's going to happen with the event fuck up that happened yesterday. We're actually also going to be covering all of the stuff from the previous video that I did, where I managed to pick up all that stuff. I calculated everything that I bought for the most part. I mean, I kind of skimmed for the orange stuff, but I want to go through all of what I picked up, and that'll give us some idea of what the compensation will probably need to be or include. And then towards the second half of the video, we're actually going to run down the math in case you guys are still confused about what we need to do, because I never ended up doing that because of the aforementioned. So if you're ready to go, everybody, then let's try and boil this down. Okay, so first off, let's dig right in here to the blog post. The roses are red candy currency issue. They call it an issue. More like lots of free shit. But yesterday, February 12th at 1 p.m., the event's Roses Are Red went live with its store. Some players found millions of heart candy currency in their inventory. This was due to an old currency in players' inventory that registered as the new currency. We quickly removed the store from the game and took the game down for maintenance for 10 minutes to purge the currency. We are aware that the issue caused several concerns. Players who bought hand candy currency offers lost them. Players who spent energy and received the hard candy currency lost them. I did actually spend a little bit of energy, not too much though. Taking the game down caused some players to disconnect while in the middle of their Cosmic Crucible attacks. I did see some posts on Reddit regarding that. The team is aware of the frustration this issue caused and is working on fixing this quickly. The event store has returned today at 1 p.m. Players can now see any currency that they earned by basically spending the energy afterwards or buying offers after the game came back. We have extended the store until February 24th. Now, I want to touch on this very briefly because that basically takes us to 11 days from when, the reset today. This tells me that the compensation is not going to include currency. Why? Because that impacts the milestone. We're going to dig a little bit deeper into that in a bit here, but it appears that basically everything has come back the way you saw it in my video the other day in terms of what's available for the store. And I talked about that in the first couple of minutes. Basically, what I would do still, because it's not free currency anymore, I would kind of focus on buying the uniques that you need in the store. I think there's really good value. I want to say it's 5 for 2,000 actually, and 8 for, so it's 400 a piece. Really good value. Kind of just hold out until you see some uniques that you need and buy those. I think those have the best value in here. The G18s could be okay if you're really close to like starting Dark Dimension 6. I think it's not terrible value. In fact, it's actually better than the winter store was. So this would be okay. Do not buy Dark Diamond credits. I would only buy the shards if you were like very close to a rank up, like within 5 or 10. Otherwise, I would skip on that. So personally, G18 minis if you need it for Dark Dimension 6. Otherwise, stick to buying these uniques because you're going to need lots of these. And these are things that you can't really get on demand, right? You kind of just have to hope that they show up somewhere or you get them as drops. So I personally think this is their best value because you're always going to need these for new characters. So making sure that you have enough. And if there's any ones that you are short on, making sure you buy that for that. So I just wanted to raise that really quickly. Heart candy currency that players received offers or campaign energy spent and lost them will be compensated by the end of the week. So this is in reference to these two things here. These are basically people who spent energy and then lost it. And then people who spent money got currency and lost it. Now, my problem with this is a general compensation package is being worked on to compensate everyone for the frustration and to cover possible Cosmic Crucible play interruption. More information will be provided soon. They don't actually say that this is going to be provided before the event finishes. It could just be a general item compensation package, and therefore, because they're not sending currency, they can send it whenever the hell they want. Right, and that's kind of the idea that I got. And they need to be very careful about this, I think. And I want to go through, I copy and pasted this into a Word document, but basically I typed out everything in my video that's relevant that I managed to pick up. And I wanted to share this with you guys. So as far as uniques go, I managed to pick up a grand total of something like 55 uniques. So 5 augmented hammer tech. They come in 5 and 8 variants. So hammer tech, 8 astral energy, 8 gamma radiation, 13 quantum energy, 13 molecular cloth, and 8 luminium. Now, they were not the best spread of uniques, but still, other people who were doing this could have got osmium. They could have got whatever, right? The ones that you need. And so this is a fair bit. Now, I do want to say up front that I did refresh a total of 7 times, I think. It was because I believe you can do it twice per before the number goes up. So I did 50s, I did 100s, I did 200s, and I did 400. And so this is the result of that. Now I got 375 teal armor catalyst, 405 focus, 90 damage, 75 health, 75 resistance, and 555 teal basic catalysts, the main ones that you need. As far as shards went, I got 15 venom, 15 forge, 20 sunspot, 15 craven, 35 Darkhawk, 30 Ironheart Mark II, and then 5 Iron Man Infinity War, Rescue, and Gambit. So obviously some variable shards here. The winners were the Sunspot and the Forge shards. There was some Craven, which is still unfarmable right now as well. And, for better or for worse, I haven't maxed out Darkhawk yet. I'm close, but I hadn't done it yet. So, these were still shard and iron, most of these I hadn't finished. Even the Pegasus, because they just recently became farmable. As far as the promotion credits, I got 300 silver promos, 300 gold promos, 155 dark diamonds, 450 dark promos. And I want to mention that in the square where the dark promo credits show up, you can get as many as 200 in a single buy. So they showed up 3 times for me, 200, 200, and then 50. So quite drastic. Some people could have benefited a lot more. If you got lucky, maybe you got away with about 1,000 dark promo credits. And this has some pretty insane value, especially with Black Knight around the corner on Friday being released in dark promotion credits for Red Stars. As far as G18 minis go, this is a lot. I picked up a total of 110. So 30 skill, G18 minis, 45 mystic, 10 mutant, 10 tech, and 15 bio. And these were, across both of the types because there's 2 for each of them. I didn't break it down. Didn't really matter. But my point is that the 105 G18 minis is a lot. That's a lot of potential progress towards Dark Dimension 6, or just in general, the value of G18 minis is still pretty good. So, they cost like 200k in the supply store, right? And so 200k times 105. That is a lot of money that I saved, not that I'm buying G18 minis that much. G17s, they come in groups of 12 per purchase, and I got 12 bio, 12 mystic, 24 skill, 44 tech, and 12 mutant G17 minis. G16s, they come in packs of 30. I somehow got 150 G16 mutants, 30 mystic, 150 tech, and then a whole bunch of origin pieces, teal origin pieces here. You can see it on the screen. An insane amount of orange stuff that I didn't bother to write down. 300 orange training mods, and 30 T4 ability materials. This one, not so much because it's shared with purple, so I think that showed up more frequently. The orange training mods, I think that does have value, though, because they're worth 10,000 gold a piece. 10,000 gold a piece in terms of the value of a single orange training module. So that's everything, which basically means that I think that the compensation package has to include at least what I got, right? Because if it doesn't, in some form, however that ends up happening, if it doesn't, then a lot of people are walking away with less stuff. I think it was pretty reasonable that a lot of people took advantage, at least through all the 200 refreshes. I think that was just a no-brainer, because with the amount of stuff that you could actually get from this, yeah, why not? For 200 cores, absolutely. The deal was insane. So it was worth doing that. I'm not 100% sure. Honestly, probably the 400s too. I wouldn't have gone past that. But, so there was a lot of free stuff. Yes, you had to pay cores for it. And I'm okay not getting my cores compensated. But as far as the actual resources go, it should include this. So that's the first part of the video. The second part of the video is going to be me actually covering the event math finally, because I'm assuming that we're not actually going to get compensation in the form of event currency. So we're going to go over basically everything that we need to know, that if you don't know already, hopefully you will find out now through this video, what's going to happen as far as where you can expect to get in the milestone. So Roses Are Red is ongoing right now. It's a 7-day event requiring campaign energy and war credits. Total milestone points is 88,000, but the event item is at 29,000. That's pretty easy to get. There's about 76,000 event currency total, 61,000 in the actual milestone, and 15,000 as part of the web milestone. 10 Red Goblin shards at 40.3k milestone points, which we will be able to get as well. The free claim is 300 points daily on the web store, so make sure you're checking there, and also make sure you're doing it for the web milestone because you need the points from that. Which is mentioned here. You need 15,750 war credits over 3 wars. Honestly, should be pretty easy for most people that are like gold in war or above. if you do 3 wars and you do your knockouts or whatever in the room, it shouldn't be that much of a problem. If you're really desperate for war credits, you could also exchange your alliance credits for war credits if you need to in the war store at the very bottom. So you shouldn't need to do that. But if you're, I don't know, in an alliance that's further back than that, maybe you will. As far as the campaign energy goes, about 1100 daily. Now this will result in, it's a 4-to-1 currency exchange, so you will get 4400 points daily. However, starting tomorrow, and I want to stress this part because this is really important, assuming they don't fuck this up too, but there's going to be a double refresh event going on tomorrow. Energy overload at Wednesday at 1 p.m. tomorrow. So don't use your cores until that time. Do not refresh your energy on your daily reset. Like when, I don't know, at midnight or something, when you're doing your daily stuff again, do not do your coring until the energy overload hits so that you can double dip for that. What that means is every time that you spend cores to get energy, you're going to get twice as much. So for the 50s, you're going to get 240. And well, actually every single time. So you're going to get an insane amount of value. And basically even the 100 core refreshes are going to give you that kind of value. You're going to get 240 for 100. So that would be equivalent to basically doing more 50s. So for people who are going to be doing it over the course of 2 days, because it's 24 hours, but you'll get 2 different refreshes for that, I would probably do at least the 50s and the 100s. I don't think you really need to go into the 200s. I'm not sure it's that necessary, but if you're trying to push levels, you might want to do it there too. So it's entirely up to you on that one and how much you want to push. But as far as the math goes, what I've done is I have only done the 50 core refreshes over the course of those 24 hours. So what we did is we took 5 days of the regular energy points, and then we did 2 days of the double energy points for the 50 cores. I did not go into the 100 cores. So if you are going that or higher, you will pick up more milestone points. But basically, if you do that, you will get about 40,000 points just from the energy portion. So if you add that with the web milestone, with the free claim, that's going to give you about 57,000 points. Now, you can get a little bit further than that as well. Like I said, if you're willing to do the 100 coring and the 200 coring, honestly, because I may do that, but I'm also kind of conscious about my Black Knight because I want to make sure that I unlock him when Friday comes around. So we'll see. But as far as where you'll be able to get into the milestone for that, like 57,000 is, I would probably push milestone 18 at that point. Milestone 19 might be a bit more challenging to do if they don't compensate, I suspect, because they're diamond orbs. You're going to have to core something fierce to even get there. But let's, for sake of argument, we could break that down actually. So between 58,000 here, and that's about 15,000 points. So we would need to do this 15,000 divided by 4 because of the points. That's 3,700 and 50 energy. So this is quite a bit more that you're going to have to do, which I don't think that you're going to be able to make. If you went into the 200 refreshes, like maybe you would get 240 energy. How many refreshes would that be at 240? Any extra refreshes? You'd have to do about 16 extra energy refreshes over the energy overload period in order to get this next milestone 19. 20 is definitely out of reach for sure, but I just wanted to put that there in case there were some hardcore people out there wanting to push milestone 19. But for the rest of us, I think that milestone 18 is actually pretty reasonable for once, which is good because there's gold in there. So I'm looking forward to, pushing that one a little bit more. Now, if, depending on what they do for the compensation package, in some universe, if they happen to add some event currency, then you might be able to get a little bit more. But I would, just keep this in mind that you're probably going to be getting around milestone 17 or 18, depending on how hard you're willing to push and how much energy over the energy overload period that you want to do. And I recommend taking advantage of that. So at least doing the 50, probably the 100, but for the sake of the math, I didn't want to kind of put too many cores down because I know that people are really crunched when it comes to their power core usage because almost every event contains some sort of power core in it. So that, yeah. Anyways, that's the math. That's Roses Are Red Part 2, I guess, and the continuation of their event fuck up. I'll continue to cover it as we learn more, when they decide to send out or confirm what the compensation package is going to be. And we'll bench it across what I managed to get, right? Because I think at the end of the day, the fairest solution is them providing at least what I got. And my other concern is that I think I'll just get that too. I think that they'll send it to everyone, which means that I was able to get twice as much. But, we'll end up seeing about what ends up happening in regards to that. So that's the end of the video, everyone. Happy Tuesday. And until next time, stay safe and healthy. And I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.